Number 1. It sets a shaky foundation. Sexual purity is very important. Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4 says, "Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled." The sole purpose of entering into a relationship and getting engaged with someone is to get married. But the thing is, during that time of grooming the relationship, what do? Sometimes some people, or shall we say most people, step into this relationship and make a very big mistake. Mistake in the sense of having sex with each other before the wedding night. The reason this is a mistake is because it's not right. We all know that Christ is the basic and only foundation for any good and fruitful beginning. And marriage is a new beginning, so when you have sex before marriage with your partner, it lays a shaky foundation for this new beginning and lifelong connection. We know that Christ cannot dwell in iniquity, and he has told us already in Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4 that he wants us to live in sexual purity and not defile our marital bed. So when you do that, you cause a barrier between you and God. And when there is a barrier between you and God, you will go ahead to start your new life on a shaky and a bad foundation because God is not in it. So this simply means that if you want to have a strong, solid and a good foundation, run away from premarital sex, keep yourself pure and lay your foundation on a steady ground. Number 2. It connects and creates lasting emotional bonds. Marriage is more like a union, a connection. Two people become one, and so is sex. Sex is like a connection to each other. Mark chapter 10 verses 6 to 9 says, "Marriage is not just ordinary. It is more than just a physical act. It is a spiritual encounter. It's a holy mystery." So when you have sex with someone you love before the wedding night, things start to fall apart. Because you never took time, or you have not finished evaluating who that person really is, and then you just jumped into bed with him or her, surely things will start falling apart because both of you don't even know what you want and what you're expecting from that person anymore. The bond which is created gets you to keep repeating the same act over and over again, and then it's no more holy because you are disobeying what the Word of God says about premarital sex or fornication. It's a sin. Flee from it. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 18 says, "Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body." What if you do not eventually get married to the person you loved but have slept with? You keep living with that encounter in your head every day for the rest of your life, that unbreakable connection. And that is the main reason why you see already married couples not satisfied with their partner, looking for satisfaction elsewhere. And any contact with a lady or man they have been with before will bring back that emotional chain that was already created. They might want to stop, but because of the connection after sex, they find it difficult to focus on their partner at home, but rather the first person that the connection was made with. So, when you love to run from the partner you ended up getting married to the person you had sex with before your marriage, you will not love that. Keep yourself and find pleasure with your wife and not running around looking for satisfaction elsewhere. Number 3. No appreciation for the partner. When you engage in premarital sex, then that is the end of your appreciation for your partner. Forget the lie that sex before marriage is very good, that it only tests your ability or keeping yourself in an outdated thing to do. That's just the devil's lie. So when you fall for that lie, it does not only steal your glory, but also your sense of appreciation. When you finally get married, you do not like what you see because you got it cheaply. Remember the saying, you do not appreciate something that did not cost you. It's very true. Let's take an example. When you buy an expensive shirt, you appreciate it. You take care of it like there are no other shirts, and you make sure nothing stains it or wears it out. You always want to keep it looking new because it costs you a huge amount of money to buy. But when you buy a shirt not even half of the above price, you use it anyhow. Because even if it gets torn or worn out, you can always buy another one because it cost you almost nothing. You do not have to save up more money to buy it. And so is it with sex and your partner. When you have sex with someone you say you love before marriage, it came freely, and even when you're married, you will not appreciate the sex because you got it first freely. And it cost you nothing. So you feel they are not doing enough, and take it as nothing. Keep yourself, no matter how long. Do not give up your virginity as a lady to someone before your marriage night just because you love that person. It's your glory and pride, and the person you get married to will always value and appreciate you for not giving it up, and they will not find anyone better than you. Number 4. Communication hurdles are built, and it blocks the way. Sexual purity in marriage is very important because it gets rid of any fear in your marriage with no secret pressing you down. But when you eventually enter into premarital sex and get married to someone else, pretending you're still a virgin, there is always this painful feeling and fear in your communication. That will be the beginning of your problem because communication is key and it's very important in your marriage. That is to say that when previous sex were not or are not discussed, communication is hard because of the fear of rejection and consequences that will follow after discussing it with the marriage partner. You feel like your marriage is not safe anymore and it will crumble whenever you two look at your past to share past experiences. Sometimes you might not be ready or willing to risk your marriage just for that secret. So you will find it difficult to open up to your partner because you think maybe when you try to open up to your partner, the big secret will just slip out of your tongue from nowhere and all the hope and trust your partner had in you will be gone. So you will rather hide it than share it. And when secrets of past sex are being hidden, it stands in the way of your marriage because where is that marriage heading to? Nowhere. When you start hiding vital and important information from your partner, what kind of a marriage will that be? Where is trust and love? That is no longer a marriage. Number 5. The feeling of jealousy and possessiveness. When you go into sexual immorality, that is premarital sex, we know the common signs that follows. Ladies tend to get jealous and men tend to get possessive and vice versa. It also comes in as a result of having sex in or at the wrong time. You start feeling an unnecessary feeling of jealousy and possessiveness even before you get married. Then, for sure, even in the marriage, it remains that way because the truth is, signs you see in your partner before marriage is still what you will see after marriage. You lose the trust you're meant to get from your partner because they are so jealous or possessive and will not let you be around other people freely without those signs coming in. This might be seen as nothing, but it's a big deal. We all know that love is not the only thing that serves as a building block in marriage. Trust is there, openness and communication is there, respect is also there. So when these building blocks are not in a marriage, but replaced with jealousy and possessiveness, then the building will go down. All of this simply means that when you have sex with someone you love before marriage, that person tends to exhibit the 2 signs mentioned. Because you're not yet into the marriage, there is no knowledge of the 2 becoming one. They'll lose their sense of security and start feeling insecure. Insecurity starts because there is lack of trust between the partners. If they could have sex before marriage, what is to say that they would not fall for other people as well? The best thing is just to remain chaste. It gives your partner a strong confidence in you and strengthens your bond later on in marriage. If you want to start on a good ground, then keep sex out of the equation. All these being said, we should know that premarital sex is sin, and we should not do it because God cannot be the foundation of anything sinful. Keep yourself until marriage and secure your lifetime journey, that is marriage, in a way that pleases God.